In the past 2 months, I've been building for a LEGO contest called Rogue Olympics. The target is to build every week a mock with less than 100 parts, and every week we have a specific theme. So far, I show you on the channel already the first 6 weeks of the contest. All those builds you can find on my YouTube channel. I will link it at the end of the video. But today I'm going to show you the last 2 for this contest, and then from next week we are going to move into space. So the target, the theme for this build was chaos. I have no idea whatsoever where to go. So at the end, I decided to build a kid's room that is supposed to be quite chaotic. So here, there's not going to be crazy technique, but I'm going to try to jam-pack this with a lot of details. So here you can see already I'm using big plates, long brick, big and tall bricks to limit the piece count because, as I said, I need to keep this at 101 pieces maximum. So we can close the door, and this is going to be the kids' room. Okay, here I already added some new tiles, printed tiles that I bought. They make for a very good carpet, and we can start to add the details. So over here on the left side, I'm thinking it's going to be the area more of the teenage boy of this family. So we're going to add a stereo over there. We have a can of soda or something over here, and a pizza on the table. So this is starting to fill up already. We can add also this printed pizza tile that come from one of the Marvel minifigure, I think. I thought we can also add a little dog playing with a ball. So this is a ball from the referee CMF minifigure, for which I never built an habitat. I have to, now that I think about it, I probably should do that soon. And over here, I'm going to add a little bit of extra details, decoration on the wall, some sort of notes over there. And I think this area of the build is already done, so we can add this minifigure that I put together with this joystick, with some sling. I think is a nice-looking teenage boy in his football uniform walking around. Now, on this side, we're going to add the younger girl of the family that is gonna go with this roller skate going around the house. This one is also an accessory from a CMF minifigure for which I already built an habitat. I want to add a cabinet at the back. I want to make it look like she's like falling down and pulling the cabinet towards her. So that's why I added one stud here at the bottom. And we are going to connect it there so that it's looking like it's coming down. We have a sort of toy buildable figure on top, another drawer with something inside, maybe some clothes, and this I'm just going to put it there, make it look like everything is falling down. And I'm also going to add this small toy car, which is actually a printed plate with a Ferrari logo over here. I don't remember from which set it comes from, but I think it's a good addition, and we can put it like if it's sliding down towards the floor. Over here on the side, I'm going to add a sort of chest with some fluffy toys. I have 2 of these. I think they fit pretty nice the theme, so we can, again, fill it up with all kids' accessories. This one is from the minifigure that I actually use as my sig fig for the sleepy guy, which is my sig fig for a Brick Dreamer. I have this other accessory, this horse. This is also from a CMF. I'm not too sure if I made an habitat for this one. If I did, then I will add it on screen so you can have a look at that one as well. This is going to fill up the space on top of the carpet. One more kind of toy design from another CMF minifigure. No habitat for that one, I think. That is going to fill up this wall over here. And this is going to be a sort of patch of milk that is coming off this bottle over here that is just going to sit there. And we can add another slope over there to make it look like it's spilling out and is fixing up this awkward hole that I have in between those wedge plates. Over here, I'm going to add one of the babies. Very nice. I created a very small and simple crib using some like leather kind of pieces. Now let me see if I can put it together nicely. I just added a little bit of white details in the middle, and this is gonna just connect here slightly so that it looks like it's pulling the crib towards the ground hanging on the side. So a very dangerous situation in this house. And here we have the mom that I thought I can just add looking here from the side. Not sure if she's gonna enter or not in this crazy room. I'm gonna show you also the picture that I took to publish in the contest because they will judge the picture. One thing that I did is I didn't want the whole picture to have the same background also behind the door. So I actually added a small sheet of paper folded at the back to make it look like actually the mom is in a different room and then all the background around the mock has a different color. But now let's move this to the side and move to the last week of the contest, for which the theme was focus. Another very difficult one. You try to think what you could build with the focus theme in less than 101 parts. So here I decided to build a big Jenga. So when you play Jenga, you have to be very, very focused. So I create a lot of these big bricks, mostly 2x6, then I tied it up with whatever I have available. I could have kept the piece count lower, but I don't have the right tiles for every color. These are just not connected, so I think it's easier. We can just put them on top and make it look a little bit like in not a good order to make this look a little bit precarious. Another thing that I did is I added a 1x brick here at the bottom so that if I place this carefully, it will look like it's actually falling down. And hopefully, if I put it in the right way, another one will stack on top there. So with the right perspective, it will look like these two are actually falling down. So here I'm going to build a character. It's actually going to be a sort of big buildable figure. I build only the bust, only the face of this character. So here we have the nose, the eyes. To make it more interesting, of course, there it fell. Later we will fix it. I added some glasses that come from some sort of brickheads pack. And this is the bottom of his face that will make the character look a lot more interesting now. As you can see, it's coming a little bit forward here, but actually I think it gives a nice effect to the character, give a little bit of texture. I think it looks nicer this way. And here we have some parts, again, that I took from the tiny plants. So this is another use of those plants. If you watched my review last week, the mock builder review that I built, this is another use for the parts from the tiny plants. That is a very interesting parts pack. So I added one of these long bricks at the back. This is just for balance because otherwise it will tilt over. So this is going to be in a position sort of like this, okay? Looking to this way. And then for the air, I used this, I don't know what the name of this piece. And it's just going to sit on top, not connected. And I think it can make a very good air piece, especially looking from the right perspective. Then, as I said, here I'm going to have the Jenga a little bit in front of this character. Now let me see if I can quickly construct this again. Something like this. Maybe to make it easier, I will remove the 1x so there's no risk of this falling over again. And now I need to make it look like if he's actually playing and if he's pushing on this brick over here. So I create a base here with this big tile, angle with an inch, and this again parts from the tiny plants to create the arm and the end at the front. I had a couple of different iterations with the finger pointing and try to poke this brick. I think I don't have the right parts to do this, so this is the best solution I came up with. It's not great, but you can understand that this is a hand with the finger going and poking to this brick over here. So this is more or less the setup. Now, of course, you look at like this and you think, okay, this is weird. Like, what is this? Of course, it's not a display piece, but now I'm going to show you the final result. This is the picture that I took with the right perspective, with a nicer background, and you can see that it kind of works. So sometimes when you're building something for a contest, it doesn't have to be a finished display piece, but you can just focus a little bit on perspective, playing a little bit with the scale, with the right proportions, and everything will work, even with a very small piece count below 101 parts. Now, over here, right and left, you can see the two videos where I share all the first 6 builds for this contest. And from next week, we are going to move into space with a new series of CMF Minifigure 26. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.